Hello and welcome back to the Valley Forge Disc Golf Association's 2021 Battle of Greystone Woods, presented by the Valley Forge Sports Network. I'm Chris DeMarco, joined by David Wang and Dan Schifrin. Guys, back nine, final round. We've made it here, VFDGA major event. How do you guys feel about what you've seen so far today? We got Dylan Cook sitting at -4, Travis Amico 2 strokes behind at -2, Jacob Liss at even, a couple other guys in the mix down there. Dave, what are you thinking so far?
Just great disc golf out here. Like we've been mentioning, conditions are tough. People are battling. I just got to shout out Mark Newton. Used to be a Greystone local, moved to Texas, I think 6 or 12 months ago, coming back home on a business trip, able to play here after not playing for so long. And I think he was on a leaderboard with, I think, even or +2 for the day so far.
Yeah, one of my favorite guys to play with in Greystone Woods. Really nice guy. Love playing with Newt. Dan, conditions have gotten worse. We've mentioned it quite a few times here. There was an absolutely crazy hailstorm. What are you thinking going into the second round if you're a player?
I'm hoping to see a little bit better putting from the group. That being said, it's incredibly difficult when winds are reaching up to 45 miles an hour, but whoever can putt the best will perform the best, no doubt.
Hole 10, par 3, 227. Really, the tail end of the shot is the one you need to be concerned with here. There's not too much trouble you can get yourself in off of the tee, so you can kind of take whatever route you need to make sure your shot shapes up with a left to right angle. Dylan just going way too strong on the anhyzer there. You can see just how dim it is here at Greystone Woods. Jevin going to his trusty sidearm Justice. I mean, that's a Justice, and it's getting blustered over. The wind is just bossing everybody around here today. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is a tough hole in the wind because, you're playing elevated. You're exposing a lot of the bottom side of the disc here, especially for that turnover backhand. You can see on the forehand that this just goes up and down, up and down.
Speaking of bossing, Austin Barron. Looked like he went to a more high-speed disc. I think Jevin just had a little upshot there. I think Austin went to probably a more higher speed disc than he would have normally. It really battled the wind there nicely. Clean release off of the hands.
I love to
say clean, crisp release. It's too many words.
Love to see how low Austin gets on his shots, not just his putting, but like his drives as well. He gets really down low, and in windy conditions like this, that's very, very helpful. Dylan has the swaggiest getup right now. I love the watermelon vibe.
Austin cleans up his birdie 2-putt there on hole 10. Hole 11, par 4, 425. This is one of the more scenic, beautiful tee shots if you hit your line. If you find yourself in trouble, this hole is ugly. It's got teeth on that left side slope. But if you can hit a nice backhand turnover that pops up to flat, drifts a little bit right, you might find yourself able to get a look at the eagle down here. I've seen a lot of AM golfers get the look at the eagle, but at the same time, same guys, you might find them double bogeying just as often. So, challenging hole.
Yeah, this is one of the holes when it's easy, it feels super easy, and when you're off in the fairway, it feels impossible.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think this is the definition of one of those holes. The mouth gap here really does shape up naturally for the rest of the flight of these discs, whether you want to go lefty on the sidearm or up the gut with the backhand, as we're going to see Bill try to do here. And Bill does exactly that. That little turn, can't quite see the disc, but he pushes up to the fairway. Got himself about 250 left.
As you can see, our players are playing a lot quicker. The weather is not great.
Yeah, the storm looks to be hitting hopefully a bit of a crescendo here. Jevin just YOLOing that thumber, or I think that was a tomahawk.
Tomahawk, yeah.
Gets himself reasonably far up the fairway. Now this is where you can find yourself in trouble. I would love to see Austin get out of this spot over here. Okay.
Good kick there, keeping it low so the wind's not batting it around.
I mean, look at this. You can't even, his umbrella can't even stay still out there. His umbrella is like, Dylan, get me to the green. Danger awaits here on hole 11.
Let's see what Dylan can cook up here.
I hate you. You guys ever grill watermelon?
No, I've heard of it though.
I hear grilling watermelon's like a good thing. Dylan just reminds me of that.
I know grilling pineapple is pretty good, but watermelon I've never tried.
I also hear like mustard on watermelon's a thing. I don't know.
That sounds.
People are crazy.
That sounds heinous, but you know what? Teach their
Heinous.
own.
And this wind is a heinous crime to the game of Bill Hove. We saw him doing really well at the beginning of the round, but during that break, he seemed to struggle on hole 4. Hasn't really been able to bounce back yet. He looks ready for anything.
Got the raincoat on now. Wind's coming in, rain's coming down.
Yeah, I like to see him taking his time, Dan. You mentioned how important it is to have urgency in these rainy conditions, but let's see what he can do here on the fairway of hole 11.
That patented form, tucking that throwing hand back. No way.
Bill Hove. Jinx Cola owe me a Diet Dew. Bill Hove with the 250-foot eagle here on hole 11. Absolutely the shot of a century, and it's all captured here on VFSN. I mean, let's take another look at this. Unbelievable effort from Bill Hove. Look at that reach back. It looked like he was going right for the basket here, guys.
I love how he just hangs it out to the right and lets the disc just fly right home.
Yeah, he played that perfectly, you know, pushing that right side. You know the slope is going to take the disc left, and perfect height on it.
I'm pretty sure, Dave, I'm pretty sure we heard the celebration from this shot on our card.
I think, yeah, I'm sure we did.
Yeah.
What a full flight shot. Heiser to flat to turn, back to flat, drifts in Heiser into the chains from so far away. And look at how narrow this green is here. I mean, there's trees everywhere to contend with. And we weren't able to capture it on catch, unfortunately. The conditions are so hard. You've got your bag over the camera. It's just so hard to see what's going on out there. Look at Bill's disc just sitting in the basket. One of his classic purple flyers he's got there.
Love to see that eagle teal there on his scorecard.
Dylan, I don't think that was as close as he thought. I think the air is just feeling mystical right now. But these guys very understandably so after Bill's heroic effort. Thank you, Bill, for letting me bust out that eagle color. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. And that's just a bit too high for these conditions. You talked about Austin's doing a great job keeping the disc low. But again, I think after Bill's shot, it's hard to not just kind of put the pedal to the metal, so to speak, here.
Yeah, and I think it also just goes to Austin's putting style. He's more of a push putter, and those kind of putts are, you know, tougher in the winds because you want to get some loft under it. And we all know that's not the best in windy conditions.
Tough chain out. Am side high for Austin there. Looking to just get off of this hole as quick as he can. Unfortunately, he does take the double bogey. And he was one of the main guys that Dylan was trying to contend with here. I'm sure Dylan's not, you know, preying on his downfall, so to speak. But this could be the thing that gets Dylan to really be able to stride ahead. Hole 12, par 3, 221. Kind of similar to hole 11. This one feels like you should be able to get it every time, but you can find yourself in trouble. The uphill nature of this hole often causes discs to bounce off of the tree and kind of come backwards down the hill. Most guys are probably going to be trying to go with some sort of hyzer flip up to flat. That way they can give a nice nose up angle to the disc, but not have it hyzer out too hard. And Bill's just got to be feeling amazing right now.
That's what happens after you do it.
Okay, fair enough.
Love the wisdom from Bill Hove.
Yeah, that's what happens after you do it. Bill Hove, 2021 Battle of Greystone Woods.
I mean, this is
Put
a
that
tough.
on a t-shirt.
This is a tough tee shot. It's you know, like Chris was saying, it's going uphill. A lot of players will put the nose of this too high, kind of like that, but that'll push. A lot of people would try to force it down there, and you saw Bill, you know, shank it, hit the right side early.
Yeah, Dylan went to his watermelon disc there. I wish I knew what that was, but it's such a true flyer for him.
I don't know the mold of this. I just know they are very sought after, going for, I hear, like $250 each.
What?
The bags also very sought after. I don't know about the umbrella, but I wouldn't be surprised people paying $100 for that watermelon.
Dylan Cook, bags
umbrella.
on bags. Look at this kid. He's playing great golf. Got the nice swagger. Scott and I talked about doing a best dressed award and giving out a disc golf bag for it, but we just decided to do a CTP at the end of the day. We couldn't help but just play more disc golf. Shout out to Kyle Fairbanks for winning that CTP. Austin, that's a very common result. Drifts a little bit too far right, but he manages to get past the double tree, gives himself a look. And I'd like to see Bill just get a nice clean up shot for a tap in 3 here. Let's see what he can do.
Certainly going to be a tester from there.
Yeah, gets himself in circle's edge, but like I said, that's Billy's range.
Jevon's been looking a bit deflated on the past couple holes. An easy par here will go a long way. Looks like he's done just that.
Nice.
I really like how aggressive Austin is on the putting green. It's really good to see from a newer player.
Especially bouncing back from a double bogey on hole 11, which we mentioned was one of the more frustrating holes when it doesn't go your way. Bill doing the disc flip. This one's got to fall.
It's just a little off mark.
He may have used up all of his magic on the last hole. We'll see how he does here. We've got 6 holes left. Dylan just playing disc golf with his disc golf hands. That's just textbook. I don't know, Dan. This seems to be in tester range.
Yeah, with how he's been putting.
Okay, cleans that one up.
Love to see him extend on that putt. He didn't really do that on the last hole.
And you know what? The wind has kind of died down a bit. I think that was the only reason we saw some misfires from Jevon on the green. He's celebrating, and he's like, that's the first putt you made. Don't celebrate. Bill getting the bogey 4. And Austin, after giving a great bid on the birdie 2, will clean up. And just like Ricky Wysocki, his disc almost chains out off the pole. He didn't even see it. Hole 13, par 3, 227. This is a typical left to right shot where, yes, you can go with the backhand anhyzer, but you'll see that the hill slopes so far down the left of this mountain. I really recommend going sidearm here. If you miss on the wrong side of these trees with a backhand spin, you're going to find yourself all the way at the base of that hill. And it is very swampy down there, especially right now. I can't imagine the conditions. I truly hope that none of our players end up down there.
Yeah, Dylan making the right mistake with that backhand. If you are going backhand, you want to miss right, like Chris was saying, and Dylan does just that. Got himself a circle 2 look.
Can we talk about how Jevon is just going to this lucid plastic disc in the rain? And, like, honestly, he didn't cure the gap, but he hasn't really shanked one yet. That's so impressive, considering it's so wet and he's using Champion plastic. I love that.
Yeah, I would consider that questionable, but to each their own. I do really like that he's opting for the standstill on these really slippery tee pads.
Unfortunate from Austin, but again, going with the sidearm, so he just comes right back to the center of the fairway. He should have an easy upshot for the par 3. Bill going backhand. He can hit his lines, but this is where you can really get yourself into some trouble.
Come on.
Just got a little too much air under that, and you know, like Chris was saying, you know, if this starts fading, you're in trouble.
Yeah, we'll see what that positioning looks like for Bill. He isn't far from the basket, but there are some guardian trees coming up from that back end, so he may have trouble even getting in there for a safe look at the 3. Austin just flexing his versatility. He says, I got backhand run-ups, sidearm standstills, backhand patent pendings. Unfortunate little brush off of the iron leaf there. And we see Bill all the way at the bottom of the hill going for a little sidearm, trying to get crafty. That's a great upshot.
There are quite a few avenues to be traversed from the bottom of the hill there if you're pin high. That's a great shot from Bill Hove.
Valiant effort from Austin.
Dylan with the only birdie look.
Wow, just putting his foot on the gas there. Feeling good from the last birdie, taking another one, making it look easy. Great seeing that putt go in for Jevon, hitting 2 good putts in a row. Now hopefully he's feeling good on the green.
Yeah, let's see if he can kind of parlay that success into some of these scoreable holes. Hole 14 certainly is challenging, but then we've got 15, 16, 17, 18, all birdieable, especially with Jevon's sidearm. I expect him to be able to attack. Hole 14, par 4, 492. This is a very, very challenging tee shot. Low canopy. You've got to push the disc out far left. It's only about 180 to that turn there. And look at how crowded this green is. The drone can barely even make it through. Never mind the fact that you've got rocks on the green that can kind of pop the disc up. You've seen some unlucky bounces here on this channel, pushing people into the water there. Now, I expect Dylan to probably just try to go conservative at this point, right? He's 6 down. He's got quite a bit of a lead on the field.
That being said, I think the conservative play on this hole is to attack the tee shot. That's
True.
It's going to really make the second shot a lot easier, which is where a lot of the problems can kind of arise.
Yeah, you really don't want to be short left on this tee. And it looks like Dylan makes the right mistake there.
It's interesting. Yesterday, Lefty mentioned how this second shot is an easy one. And I think the reason why some people think that is because of how often you find yourself in trouble. Out of necessity, you have to try to find lines. But I think it just capitalizes or highlights how important it is to capitalize on this shot. Get yourself aggressive, far down the fairway. That way, if you're not in the center of the fairway, you can scramble out.
I don't know about you guys. This is one of my favorite holes at Greystone. This is such a quality par 4 in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely agree. I mean, it just it demands a lot from the tee shot. You know, we were saying you don't want to get down there, but if you throw it too far straight on the tee shot, you're also in trouble.
Yeah. Wow, Dan. I think you just sparked my love for this hole.
I think it's a beautiful 2-shot hole. You got to get aggressive on the tee shot, and the second shot is no picnic either. Even when you're in perfect position, you really have to manufacture something special to get to the green.
Very true. And think about this. If the tee started on level ground with the fairway, you'd see a lot more guys go putter and play a simple shot about 150 straight to try to line themselves up for the second shot.
Yeah.
But it's just not worth it. It's downhill, so it's so hard to even land yourself on the elbow. And then if you do, you've got the hardest shot in disc golf. You got to go dead straight for about 280 feet. So you're right. This is such an incredible hole. Shout out to Sam Doyle watching the coverage. I know he's eagled this hole before. What a guy.
Sam, oh man. That's the man.
Our
Some
players
struggles here, yeah.
finding their way to the green.
Finding their way, traversing, as Dan said, new paths, forging new lanes out here at Greystone Woods.
Much like our forefathers before us.
Bit of a rush up shot from Alston there. That's going to find him into some trouble. Unfortunate. We can chalk it up to the fact that he's a bit of a newer golfer. Might be having one of those out-of-body experiences where he's just not really feeling in control of the disc. But big ups to him for making it on lead card here. He's been playing such great disc golf. And we forgot to mention, he actually won the last tournament here at Greystone Woods. Begging for Birdies, hosted by James Kolinski and Arlene Gurka. I do believe Austin took down that tournament.
Yeah, I was on lead card with him, and I was just surprised how composed he was that whole round. Being a new player, it's easy to let the nerves get to you, but he was playing clean. And I must say the conditions here is probably making it a lot harder for him to have the same result here.
Cleans up the triple there. Happy to see him just get off of the green here on 14. He's got 15 coming up. Very attackable hole. We'll see if he can bounce back with a birdie. Rest of our card cleaning up here. Dylan, wow. Gets the par on 14. I mean, that's great for him right now.
And he's 2 down through the last 3 holes. That's going to do it.
Hole 15. That's going to do it.
That's going to do it.
Hole 15, par 3, 231. Dave, you almost aced this one.
Yeah.
Tell us about the hole.
Just a down sloping left to right shot here. I personally like the backhand turnover putter shot. Some guys will throw forehand. It's kind of pick your poison. Actually, pick your luck or fortune. It's not really that poisonous, this hole, but pretty easy. You're looking to get a 2 here for sure.
Yeah, I think the tail end of the flight is very important. That was laced from Dylan Cook. Really kind of just putting a little bit of emphasis on his last few holes here by securing the birdie too, if he can tap in that little 10-footer. I don't think we're going to see Dylan miss from that range today, guys. He's been so put together out there on the green that I think he's got himself another birdie going down to next 7 here.
Absolutely. He's already proved time and time again. He's absolutely poised in these moments.
Yeah, you don't get to see all of the emotion that the players display out here, but with Dylan, I don't know him super well, and granted it is tournament play, but he seems like a very just kind of level-headed, even-keel kind of guy. The watermelon bag and umbrella might have the viewers at home believe otherwise. I don't know, maybe he's got a wild side to him.
Surprising to see Jevin go with that backhand turnover. I mean, I would think he would throw forehand here, let it fade, but
For a forehand dominant player, that's definitely the high percentage play.
You know what I think it is, though? I think with this one, if you want to go sidearm, you need to throw a hyzer flip up that pops up to flat so it can drift all the way. He seems to be more of like a true hyzer guy. And if you go true hyzer off of this tee with the sidearm, it kind of crashes down. Let's take a look at the leaderboard here as we come down the stretch here at the Battle of Greystone Woods. Dylan Cook in the lead at -6, and we've actually got 2 players making a push. Travis Amico at -3, Kyle Fairbanks at -3. Fairbanks has 2, 7, and 8 left to play. Amico has 7, 18, and 1. Those are all very, very attackable holes. So let's take a look at Kyle Fairbanks here on the tee of hole 2. And guys, if he can get the birdie here, he'll be still within 3 strokes of Dylan. Dylan's coming into 16 as a backhand dominant player. That hole might be able to get the better of him. See what Fairbanks does off the tee.
Yeah, and even though Dylan's been playing pretty amazing front runner golf, you know, the pressure's still on from Kyle and Travis. He can't falter now.
This is an absolute mush from Kyle Fairbanks. Look at his positioning here.
Yeah,
incredible drive.
I played with him a few times in tournaments, and he's got an arm.
Unfortunately, that one is way wide left. We got to give him credit. VFSN events, there's cameras everywhere. So, I mean, for us to step up to him, he had just bogeyed hole 1. So he was actually within 2 of Dylan. Let's see if he can clean up his birdie 3 putt. This would be massive for Fairbanks. Wide right.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. That's going to give up another stroke to Dylan, assuming he can clean up that tap in. We're checking back in on hole 15. We got Jevin off in the rough here, chopping wood, giving himself a round of applause. Shouts out to Jevin again for making lead card. I mean, we've seen some great disc golf from him today, but it needs to be said, guys, to be one of the lower rated players in MA1 and make it on the lead card at this style of an event, I mean, that is just such big ups to him. He really deserves a round of applause.
I have to say, you know, Jevin, he's been around a while, and I don't think he got much nerves because he knows he can shoot hot rounds. I've seen him shoot hot rounds. He's the type of guy that's got confidence in his game.
I love that. He cleans up the bogey 4 as Bill gets his par 3. And yeah, Dylan Cook's not missing that the way he's playing today. So he gains another stroke on Fairbanks. We'll check in with Amico in a little bit, see how he's performing out there. As we know right now, Amico is down 4 strokes with 3 to go. Hole 16, par 3, 245. Check out that slope on the left side, guys. It's uphill and it's leaning far left. You can really find your disc drifting out if you miss your line on the backhand. Sidearm is certainly the safer play, and you've got this uphill shot to contend with. We saw Kyle O'Brien bang one in from the bottom of the hill yesterday, but that is not common. I doubt we will see any birdies here, guys. This is one of the more challenging holes.
Yeah, very much like hole 12. Because you're sloping up, a lot of people want to put a lot of gas on it, and when you do that, you know, you're going to pull it, you're going to shank it. It's a tight tunnel, and a lot of times when you go aggressive, you end up in that, you know, jail on the left.
Yeah, with that backhand spin going on the left gap, as we see right there, if you hit anything, you're shooting straight to the left.
That was a really fortunate second kick off of that tree. We're going to check in again with Fairbanks here. He's got 7 and 8 left to play. 2 very attackable holes. He's down 4 strokes off the leader, and Dylan is in some trouble. If we see a 2-stroke swing here, he'll only be down 2. That is math. And that's exactly what Fairbanks needs. Gets himself right down to the green. With that angle, it should filter in. This is Amico for bogey on 18 to stay within 4 of the leader. Unfortunate.
It's tough to see. You can see him look down at his hand there, probably a little bit sticky from the constantly drying it off.
Yeah. Austin's just out here like, I don't care. He got the birdie on 15. He's shaking his head. I mean, all things considered, I'm proud of the way he's played today. Same goes for Bill Hove. He really bounced back nicely from that bogey on hole 12. Got himself 3 pars in a row. That one looks to be a bit outside.
That's exactly what I was saying. You know, you're trying to really gas it up there, and you're gonna, you know, shank, grip lock that disc a lot of times.
I think this is just, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I look forward to applying this to my own game. After watching coverage of Gray, you just have to go sidearm here.
It's the craziest thing.
A little bit of a ping pong off of the trees puts Jevin into position. I think one of Jevin's strengths, guys, feel free to disagree, I think is his scramble game. He does seem to lean on the sidearm, but I think we might be able to see him get a nice upshot. This is huge for Dylan.
He's fine, but I don't know if he's going to get the par there.
Off right on the fairway.
I think bogey's all he needs right now.
That's true. That is true. Playing with a big lead. Let's see if Kyle could bang this for the birdie.
This will be to be back within 3.
Oh, it's a tough putt, you know, with that water behind sloping down. At least he draws metal. Disc is not rolling to out of bounds.
Yeah, coming down the stretch too, it's tough to stay strong and knowing that you're in contention for the lead.
Yeah.
Especially with the camera coming out of nowhere. And I think Fairbanks mentioned that he seemed to be playing better in the rain. Once the rain stopped is when he found himself in trouble. Just as we talked about Jevin's scramble game, he goes with a little crafty tomahawk. Unfortunately, he does catch the brush. Uphill nature at this hole, it's hard to get away with something like that because as you raise in elevation, the trees are effectively getting lower on you.
Great shot, get in.
Hole 16 is such a difficult birdie that honestly the par is the safest play. It's such an easy par considering how hard the 2 is. Betting against the field is usually a pretty good bet on this hole.
Betting on Dylan Cook seems to be a good bet. It can't be understated how successful that scramble to get the bogey 4 was from the base of that hill. Even that upshot we saw, there was trouble looming with that uphill nature of the hole. He could have easily bounced off the pole, off a rock, rolled down the hill. To get himself an easy tap in for the 4 and keep this 3-stroke lead, that's just a colossal effort from Dylan Cook here.
Monumental. We could see as our other players are struggling to get up to the green. This hole can, take your lunch and then eat it right in front of you.
What is for lunch today, Dan? I'm hungry.
I'm gonna get pizza after this.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
Jersey representing.
I was hoping there's some J mics, but pizza sounds
Wow,
good.
yeah, everybody got J mics at lunch, guys.
Shout out to our TDs, Chris and Scott DeMarco, for hooking up the players with a great time and some catering.
Yeah, there's a lot of great TDs out here. Shout out to all of them for paving the way. We have to pay our respects. But at the same time, I think we're kind of trying to change the course a bit here. Really kind of make sure that all the money gets back to the players. This is not something where we really need to be taking profit for. First place, Dylan Cook, hole 6. He now has a 4-stroke lead after that unfortunate bogey from Travis Amico. So barring any ridiculous circumstances, it looks like Dylan Cook has quite a bit of strokes to play here. Travis Amico with 1 left on hole 1 after Fairbanks takes the bogey on 8. So we'll see if Amico can get that solo second place. We might be looking at a playoff if Amico pars hole 1. Hole 17, par 3, 361. Drone is coming off of the long tee here. So as you can see, we're going to be coming with a bit more of a straight approach. Jevin going with the sidearm Justice. And that's just, that's going to get away from him. Such an overstable disc. And that Justice does seem to be seasoned, but maybe he does need something kind of like a Truth. Something that's just a little bit more flippy for him. Could have just been that he missed his line.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to challenge the trees on the left there.
Come on. Get it.
Wow.
Beautiful shot from Dylan. Wow.
Hopefully that settles for him, but yeah, that's really risky, especially being, maybe he knows he's got a few strokes to play because I thought he would be pitching up to the mouth, but he's gonna go for the park job.
Look at this kid. Absolutely barbaric effort to just attack the green like that. I'm not sure if he was checking the scores, if he knew exactly where he fell. I know he mentioned that once I peeled off to go film some of the other guys after 12, that it kind of got him motivated. He started hitting some putts.
You know what I think it is? I think he saw Jeff Mahler over there on the right, the course designer, and wanted to show off and tell him, hey, I could slice his course up.
Yeah, Jeff is an icon out here.
Great shot from Bill.
Jeff just, by the way, just immediately rolls out right after the storms are done. Comes out just in his nice jean jacket, looking super dry. I was like, you dog. He's like, you don't think I know what I'm doing out here? I've been around for a long time. Just kind of educating the youth out here, Jeff is. And he can play some good disc golf, too.
Yeah, really showing the youths what's up.
The youths.
A bit high from Austin there. Looks like he stayed in bounds.
Jevin is finding himself in a bit of trouble here. Yeah, that's way more than what you want to see for a par 3 putt. I think at this point now, these guys are probably just kind of finishing up their round, rooting Dylan on in a way. I think Bill, Jevin, and Austin all played together in round 1. So I'm sure that they're kind of just been having a good time together all day. But at this point now, I'm sure they're probably pretty excited to stop playing disc golf. And Dylan Cook, make no mistake, that is a very missable putt from about 24 feet there. Look at this kid.
Can't be stopped.
Yeah. I have to say, with conditions like this, it's nice to see him truly earn this win. I mean, either way, he was playing great disc golf the whole day, but I would have hated to see him win by, say, 1 stroke, 2 strokes because of how weird the conditions were. We had to take that long break. I think Dylan Cook really came out here today and just said, this is my tournament. We'll take a look at the leaderboard again before we check in with Travis Amico. Amico is tied with Fairbanks. He's got hole 1 left to play. Dylan's going to have an absolutely nuclear meltdown on hole 18 to give Amico a chance. So I think it's safe to say Dylan's going to take this one. Let's check in with Travis Amico, VFDGA member, VFDGL member, playing for the Arctic Tundra this season. Guys, if you have not seen the VFDGL, it's a triple scramble league here on Valley Forge Sports Network. I recommend going back to opening day, start from the beginning.
No slouch on the wiffle ball park either.
Yeah, he's got a nasty slider. You do not want to try to hit this kid. Let's see if he can slide into the green of 1.
Just gets over the ridge, got himself a look. That's what he's looking for.
Yeah, he's got the look at the 2.
Yeah, Travis.
Oh, and that's no playoff, folks. Travis Amico gets a little roll down to the basket, taps in for the birdie 2, solo second place. Thank you, Amico, for representing the VFDGA, going out there taking a podium finish. And shout out to Kyle Fairbanks for taking 3rd place. The field was very, very deep. Hole 18, par 3, 387. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. Guys, why do we bogey this hole? It's so straightforward.
It's, you know, it's not even that long. It's pretty downhill. It's such an easy par. It's such an easy par, but I think people see how open it is after playing such a wooded course like Greystone. They kind of want to get aggressive, but it being hole 18, you're a bit tired after a full round.
Let's get some magic.
Look at your champion, Dylan Cook, folks. He's played so well all day. Super composed. Only had 1 bogey on the back 9, unless something goes wrong here on 18. The winds do look like they're picking up a bit.
Yeah, Dylan did such a great job, just played such a solid first round, and with the conditions being what they were in the second round, to shoot under par, it's no surprise that he came away with the win today.
975 rated round in round 1 with the minus 5. Sorry.
That's right.
And I believe if he can stay here at minus 2, that will also be 975, 978 rated because of the conditions and how hard the course played today. So
That is correct, Chris.
really capitalizes the performance that our other 3 competitors here on lead card did. Really emphasizes, rather, how well these guys did today. I mean, obviously unfortunate. You know, it seems like the cameras do add a little bit of pressure, make it a little more challenging. That's too high of a shot there. It does get knocked down by the branch, but either way, in these winds, you got to keep it lower.
Should still be a pretty manageable up and down from there. You can see Jeff in the orange beanie there.
I wanted to get him for an interview, but we'll get him in the next tournament for sure. We will absolutely be coming back to Greystone Woods for more VFDGA events. Look at these guys.
Yeah, and if you guys like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to be notified when new videos get put up. Big things coming.
Yeah, we've got content coming through the rest of the year. I mean, we're pretty much going to be doing stuff all season. If anyone's ever played ping pong, we invented a game called Setup a few years ago. 2v2 setup game. I am desperate to get some coverage of Setup this winter.
A few years ago, I think it's more about a decade ago we started.
Yeah, wow, I'm getting old.
It's like a legacy game at this point.
Not really, though. Austin, upshot, leaves himself more than you want to see for a par putt. If you can get there for birdie 2, you're feeling great, but for the par, not so much. Wow, Bill's going sidearm here on the upshot day?
Yeah, I think he just, wants to play that slope, doesn't want a backhand to get away from him and roll down the hill.
Look at that. He missed right, but it plays the hill perfectly. Let's just take another look at this shot from Bill Hove,
Yes,
guys.
please.
Come on.
In the thick of the worst of the weather today.
Literally.
I think his biggest mistake was taking that rain jacket off.
Yeah. Wow. Bill Hove. Gosh.
Dave, you mentioned earlier the way he tucks his left hand behind his, or was it, no, his throwing hand, excuse me, behind his back after he throws. It's so cool.
It's a little Philo Braithwaite action there.
Yeah.
Dylan Cook, folks. Wow. What a guy.
Is this for his 2 here?
This is for the 2.
Wow, big drive.
See if he can finish it neg 8. Oh my.
And he
Great
tried
run.
to.
Great
Wow.
effort.
Yeah.
Sit down.
I mean, this kid's just having fun out there, guys. I gotta say, I want to play some disc golf with this guy.
Absolutely. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I saw him shoot a -10 early in the season in the sanctioned league. I think it's a 10-17 rated round. Not surprised he's shooting hot again.
Yeah, that's incredible. And like I mentioned before, unfortunate for Jevin, not reflective of Jevin's talent level. He's played great. At this point now, you've got to understand that the conditions, the cameras, these guys just looking to get off the course at this point. We had a long break after hole 4, so again, big ups to Jevin, Bill, and Austin for a great performance out there today. Great energy as well. Pleasure shooting these guys. Dylan cleans up, but I'm really just glad we saw Dylan win this tournament. Dylan truly took it down on his own accord. I think he had a 4-stroke lead over the next player. I mean, that's a massive gap, especially when you think about how big the field was. What did you guys think of his performance out there today?
I mean, a wise disc golfer once told me, you know, it's tough holding on to a lead, and I think that's the biggest challenge for these AM guys is taking, you know, shooting a hot round and then holding that lead and keeping it for the second round. And, you know, Dylan staying composed, and that's probably the biggest thing you can have being a disc golfer, staying composed, you know, playing your game, not, you know, letting the other guys' game affect yours.
Dave, who's this wise disc golfer? I need to meet this guy.
James Kalinske. I think you have met him before.
James Kalinske. Wow, legend around here. Been desperate to get James involved in some stuff. Dan, any final words before we head back over to the course to hear from our tournament director, Scott, with the announcement for the podium finish?
Yeah, it's super important during competitive disc golf to make sure that you play 18 holes, and Dylan Cook made sure to do that twice, and he came away with the W today because of it.
Third place, battling back, Kyle Fairbanks. Second place, Travis Amico. First place with a -7 today, Dylan Cook. Thank you. Matching umbrella and bag. And don't forget, Dylan. Oh yeah. Hey! Basket. There you go.
So guys, the first PDGA sanctioned VFDGA major is in the books. How do you guys feel?
I'm ecstatic, you know. Just can't wait to play more of these events. You know, it's super fun. We had great mini games. We had speed gun games, putting competitions, you know, cater lunch. It was just pretty much, I think, the best event I've played all year.
Yeah, as a disc golfer that loves disc golf, this was a beautiful day of disc golf.
I'm feeling so emotional right now. I don't want this to be over. I mean, we worked so hard this week pulling this together for you guys. I think guys like Jomez have like a 5, 6, 7-man crew. Ours is a lot smaller than that, so we really do appreciate the support you guys have all given. We're going to be coming back at you very, very soon with more content next week. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Dylan Cook, guys. Dylan goddamn Cook.
Yeah, cooking up the win at Battle of Greystone Woods. Congratulations.
He's going to go home and grill himself some watermelon, take a nice bath, relax. Good job, Dylan. Congratulations.
Well deserved.